Hey guys, Nova Joe back again with another weapon overview, and we're going to be taking a look at another Grudge weapon. This time it's a level 3 Grudge. However, do not for 1 second think that this weapon is to be looked over because of the level 4 Grudge GD. Oh no, this weapon packs a whole lot of firepower and has a lot more versatility than the Grudge GD has. So let's go ahead and take a look at the description. Once again, it's from the Inca brother, and just like the other one stated, a grenade launcher equipped with proximity fuses. I don't understand your devices, but I do know that when these grenades come to a stop, the fuse sets and they explode when an enemy approaches, so it can be used as a trap for the enemy. And that is very true. This weapon has two functions, and honestly, I think one of them is kind of a glitch. But and before I go into that, let's go ahead and just take a look at the stats for it. It does 5,528 points of damage with each explosion. Has ammo size of 12. Has a reload of 6. So it does take a little bit of time to reload. But once you see how this weapon works, you're not going to be worried about that reload time. Shoots 2 rounds a second and has an 80-meter range. It has A for precision. Blast radius is 20 meters, so it does have a good area of effect. And it switches to proximity fuses once set. So, let me explain how this weapon works. When you fire it out, it bounces around. It is not a sticky grenade. So it'll bounce around, and once it comes to a stop, it will then set up a proximity fuse. You then have a choice. You can leave it alone and let the enemies run into it, thus being proximity, and let it explode, doing damage to them. Or you can press R1 and detonate them. So you can either choose to detonate them on your own or let them blow up as a proximity mine. So the trick with this weapon is to lay traps with it. And if you bring this weapon in, you only need it with one character, and I'll show you why in just a second. But this weapon will allow you to set up strategies, to trap enemies, to lay yourself a protective barrier so that you can then switch to your other teammates and then lay waste to the enemies as they're coming towards you. If your guys need to reload, then you have these proximity mines laying out there for ground cover. It'll basically just be it's like walking through a minefield. That's basically the best way of putting it. So you're laying a minefield. However, they do direct impact damage. So if you hit an enemy with them, it will do damage to the enemy, and then it will explode pretty much almost instantly. Once it hits them, it kind of brings it to a stop really quick. It arms and then explodes. So you can even use them against bosses, and they do a really good amount of damage to bosses. So the glitch I was talking about is once you have fired out all 12 of your rounds, you then can't do anything with the weapon until you either detonate them or they all have exploded from something running into them. Now, there is a timer on them. It's kind of in the background. I would say maybe around 60 seconds, and then they'll start to blow up on their own. So they do stay for a while. Might even be longer than 60 seconds. I've never actually timed it. However, here's the glitch I found. If you fire out all 12 of your rounds, it's just going to sit there. You're not going to be able to reload or anything until, like I said, you detonate them or they blow up. However, once you have fired out all 12 of your rounds, if you switch to another character, then your character with this weapon will start to reload. So basically, all 12 of your rounds will be out there on the ground. Your proximity mines are out there on the ground, and he's reloading to fire another 12 if you switch characters. So I think that's a glitch. I don't think it was supposed to reload when you switch characters, but it does. So enough of my rambling. Let's go ahead and get on into this. Okay, here we go. Now, as you fire these out, they bounce around, but as soon as they come to a stop, they set up their proximity feature. As you can see, you can tell exactly where the radius is. Now, what I did there is I pressed R1 and detonated every single one of them, which prompted a reload. And like I said, the reload's 6 seconds, so it takes a little bit of time, but it's not bad. So you can lay them out just like that, and just sit here and wait. The enemies, there we go, I'll start jumping into them. And like I said, they do 5,000 some odd points of damage. There goes a couple more. And some more. Slowly but surely, the enemies do run into them. And yeah, it's just a great way to set a trap for the enemies. So here we go. Press R1, detonate them, fire off some more. Lay them out in front of you if you got them coming right at you. Or you can lay them out all around you. And then what you can actually do is you can switch characters. And you're going to see me do that here in just a minute. And just lay yourself a protective area of mines. Flip over to whatever other characters you brought with you and start taking out enemies as they approach, knowing that if they start to overwhelm you, the mines are going to take care of them. They're going to catch them and take care of them. And they last for quite a while. As I stated, I've never timed it, but I believe they stay for over a minute on their own. So there we go. Switch characters, start picking off the enemies, knowing that over to the right, you're safe. If they start coming down that center section there, it's going to take them out. Okay, you had some get through. There you go. Did you see that direct point damage there? Just like the side blade, if you hit them, it will do some direct damage. It's not much. It's literally like 1% of the actual damage, or 0.5%, something like that. But you've got this protective area here. Now, did you see there? I switched characters, and he started there. I switched, and now if you look over there, the character's reloading, and all 12 of the mines are still out there. So then you can switch right straight back to him and start laying some more. There we go. So there's like 24 mines out there right now. So let's lay another 12. And so there's mines literally laying everywhere. And as I stated, then just switch characters and he'll start reloading. Because normally he won't reload till they all have detonated or you have pressed R1 and detonated them yourself. But if you just switch characters, he'll start reloading instantly with all of his mines still laying out there. Now, let me show you this up against a boss. Okay, here we go up against the boss. There's a big giant boss spider. And you see right there, it did a little direct damage, but it exploded pretty much instantly when it hit him. Alright. And fire. There we go. Look at that. Boom, 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 boom. It's just exploding right underneath of him. So basically when it hits his body, it kind of brings them to a halt and instantly sets them up to explode. So it does a good chunk of damage pretty quick. And as you can see there, he's dead now. Although he did have a few side blades blasting into him. But like I said, if you hit a boss with it directly on, it kind of brings the grenade to a stop and then sets its proximity fuse. So it does a good job against bosses. Not to mention, you can lay it down on the ground if you have approaching bosses, especially on some of those levels where you have more than one boss and you're trying to focus on one but you got another one out there. You can throw this out and lay basically like a perimeter of traps all around you so that if another boss comes at you, he'll walk into them. Alright guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a like, comment down below, and if you're new to the channel and enjoyed what you've seen, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. Alright guys, as always, take care, God bless, and keep on gaming.